I joined because I just love being in a team where everybody kind of has the same likes and differences, because we all kind of are nerdy and like to game and have fun.
I believe in STEM. I think it's great for kids. It's hands-on. It teaches them how to problem solve.
I want to be a robotics engineer when I grow up, and I feel like this will give me a good thing to put on my college application, and B, will give me a good jump start on programming and building robots.
Welcome to Ladies of the Roundtable episode 53. Am I right?
Ooh.
54. I apologize. 54. And the title says Blast from the Past. And if you are new to the Roundtable, you have no freaking clue what we're talking about. But if you've been watching from the very beginning, you will see a familiar face up in the overlay somewhere, as I do every week. Not sure where these people are. It is our own Princess Zia, who is a founding member of the table, the ladies' table, that is. Welcome back. So glad you could join us.
Thanks for having me.
Attempted last week to get you, or I think it was the week before, to get you here, and we had some technical difficulties. We apologize for that, but you hung in there like a champ.
Yeah, it happens.
Really, she was waiting the whole time on Skype, guys. It's been 2 weeks. She's just like, hey,
I never moved.
Never moved, yeah. And we're also here with surprise guest host, Jenny Wow. I think she's somewhere above me. Hey, Jenny. Welcome to the table. It's like, woo! And of course, the normal sidekicks and or
That
let's see.
intro was awesome, though.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a new intro
thank
for
you.
us. Ladies at the table, page 6,
Hi.
and Miss Pixie.
Hmm.
So, Pixie, I'm going to ask you first. How was your week? I know it's been a long one for me. I am having a few adult beverages, so if I say something I'm not supposed to, I'm not apologizing for it.
Run
how
the
was your week?
scroll.
I just okay. So like,
Wait, Amaze Balls drinking game is real.
Balls drinking game.
So like, I messed up my sleep schedule and got on one that was like not normal human hours. Did I say to put it? So I decided I was like, I'll stay up and fix my sleep schedule. So I streamed like 18 hours, and then went to sleep. Then proceeded to wake up only to screw up my sleep schedule again, where I then had to fix it again. So it's been a long and exhausting week. Just trying to fix that.
You got your days and your nights mixed up?
Oh, it's the worst.
I am
hate
a
it
night
when that
owl.
Same.
Man, so Paige, what about you? I know you've been running around, very busy, getting into trouble maybe? I don't
I
know.
haven't even written anything this month except for my Spider Woman variant cover that I put on my blog. That's really all I've done. I started streaming a little bit with my boyfriend.
I
That's been
saw
fun.
that.
That's been a lot of fun.
With your boyfriend. I don't know how fun that's going to be. I mean, I don't know. I'm married. That's not fun.
me and him play a lot of games together, and there's a Mega Man 2.5D game that's a fan game, and it's a co-op Mega Man game, and the developers were actually in the chat room and giving us hints, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And then we've been playing Obscure together, which Obscure is like a slasher teen movie horror film. It's
Ooh.
like this terribly raunchy, comical, campy kind of a horror game, and we love it. It's like a top-down game. It's almost like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. And
Can't do it.
but you know what though? If you're playing it with somebody that you could have fun with, it's a fun game to play.
Well, I have to say,
I don't
for
know if
those
I'd
of
like
you
it on
who
my
have
own.
watched the show before, you know that our own page 6 loves the porn. So when she says raunchy, use your own imagination, right?
Yeah, they do
And,
a lot of cheap panty shots in this game.
Nikki is not here, guys. Just so you know, that is her picture. She's not going to answer your questions. She's out for her birthday, having some celebratory drinks.
Hey.
So you can ask all you want. She's not going to answer. Pixie's going to be keeping an eye on chat, and so is Paige. Unfortunately, Shervasa can't see chat because it is a very bad storm my way. So if I drop off, ladies, just have fun amongst yourselves. I'll be back later.
What platform is the Mega Man game on?
It's
Is
a PC game. It's free too.
Is it a Steam game or is it?
No, it's a fan developed game. Yeah.
So find a link
I'll
because
give-
we're
I'll
going to
give
be
you
wanting
links.
to see that.
I'll put them in. I'll put the link in.
I wanna play it.
I'll put the Twitter of the developer in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. They were awesome too. They were there the whole time, and me and him were so bad at this game. I was embarrassing my boyfriend. I'm not a good Mega Man player. But-
No platforms for you. Hey, Frost, welcome to the show. Thank you guys for stopping in. And Jenny, how was your week?
Good. Just playing.
Just
Gal.
Jenny's so
So
cute.
for those of you who don't know what Gao is, could you just explain that
Gears
just a
of
little bit?
War, my bad.
Gears of War.
Gears of War 3, that's about all I play now. I've neglected my little Xbox One sitting over there. When I turn it on, it's probably going to like blow dust out or something.
Hey, well, I can tell you right now that I have found, I was playing with my Mini, one game that, because she's an FPS queen, was it Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
I have that.
It's like crack for Shavasta right now. I think about it at work. I want to come home and play it, and I want vengeance on all the people who are headshotting me and killing me immediately when I spawn. So I need some assists. So if you feel like blowing the dust off of that Xbox One, I will be glad to let you take
bad that I like
all
the
the cannon fodder.
like steal the tacos.
Yeah, it is bad. So we might have to do a dual stream because that game makes me angry, and I guess I'll feel good about the swear words that I'm throwing out when I'm sitting in stream with you because Jenny, if you haven't watched Jenny's stream, you better put some headphones on if you got kids in the room because this girl is not trash talking. She's just going to tell you about yourself. Doesn't matter who you are.
I don't mean to be mean.
No, you're not mean. You're not mean. She's just serious. She's not joking around. When she's playing the game, she's focused. And if you're in her way, she will mow you down, either with the bullets or her mouth, because she's not taking it. This girl's a streamer. And Heather, you, my dear, have been busy all the way around, right? You've got lots of things going on.
Yeah, I'm bouncing a few balls. That
Juggling.
sounds weird.
Yeah.
I've been juggling some balls. Yeah, no, you mean just what I've been doing this week, or do we?
Yes, ma'am. This week,
Okay,
and
just-
we'll start with
just
that.
this week. Okay, so just this week, it's been a pretty tame week. I've been playing. We'll talk. I know we were going to talk about it a little later on. We say what games we've been into, but I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy Type 0, and I have been playing some Heroes of the Storm.
Me too.
And yeah, I really dig that game. And just like Gary's Mod, which is just like a goofy Steam game. Yeah, so
Everybody likes that game.
It's just stupid. Like it, you just goof off and laugh, and so nothing serious. Otherwise, not too terribly much going on in my world. Pretty calm, other than work. It's just been a nice, quiet, good week.
Are you playing with your spouse? Any games?
When he lets me. Yeah, no,
and we're talking about video games.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough month in terms of his work rotation. So when he can, we've been playing Type 0 together.
All right.
So, yeah.
Awesome sauce. Are you showing him up, as Paige says, that she was over there? She wasn't doing so well.
I never am.
No, I'm a little better at the fighting system in the game than he is, but that's because I get to play it a little more when he's out. So
you're like, I gotta practice.
I'm practicing. Yeah. So I kind of, it's not like he's crappy at it. I just, I'm better. Just don't tell him I said that. I'm better.
It's our secret. We won't put it in the VODs or anything.
Oh, thank you.
So, for the people that are in chat and just don't know who us talking heads are or who you are, we're going to talk a little bit about Catalyst and how that came to be and what you guys are working on is driving towards. And then we're also going to talk about The Sundering, because I want you to plug that because it's such an epic show. If you're not doing anything on Sundays, you need to be over on their channel and taking a listen because it's a spanking good time. There's lots of bacon talk and then some. So and drinks. Yes. So let's start with Catalyst. Actually, let us start with Sundering because Sundering was birthed first, and then out of Sundering came Catalyst, if I'm not correct.
You are correct, actually. So The Sundering is the podcast I have been on for. Would this year be our 5th or 4th year? I don't know. You lose track. But this Sunday will be our 225th episode, and it's going strong. And I am the third of the host. I'm the third of the team, and I don't know. We're really, really raunchy, and
it's adult oriented.
It is adult oriented. It is adult oriented.
It's not even, what is it? T14, PG-13, none of that kind of stuff.
No. So it's filthy. It's kind of bad, but
Paige, it's your kind of show.
Yeah. I like it.
You need to have Paige on as a guest. That really.
I actually just lost a bunch of followers on Ask FM because of my porn policies. I did. I don't make people very happy with it.
Because you like porn?
I like porn, but there are aspects of the porn industry that I'm not going to pretend that I like, and I don't
She
think
gotta
that I
be
think that
herself.
people. Well, I mean, like, there are good and bad. There's good and bad to just about anything, including
Sure.
video games. So, I've gotten people pissed at me for the way I feel about, the addictive nature of video games. It's like if you're not going to address it honestly, then, can you really say that you are a connoisseur of it?
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that I'm a connoisseur of porn. No. But
Hey,
I think that that's
own it,
important.
girlfriend.
Oh, I
Yeah,
own
I'm
this
not.
bitch.
I'm not. She's like.
No. Yeah, we God, I'm thinking about porn and just like not
I'm
like
telling
actual
you,
porn. Like I'm
you
thinking about our
have-
conversation. Like
You have to have Paige on as a guest because if
I'd
you
love to.
you
Yeah, that'd be
there's
awesome.
a bar that will be raised in your guestage
I feel like I
when
think
she
that,
comes over.
I mean, anytime we have people love our guests. We're really lucky that people who come on the show are really smart and ridiculous and aren't offended easily.
Right?
So yeah,
But tell us when the show is on. Time frame.
Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Plug it on
Yeah.
your Twitch channel.
Yeah, I kind of have
and
to
you
hold
can
it down.
also-
It's me with two other guys, so I have to kind of like be the.
You can also find you guys on Stitcher.
Mhm.
Right.
Stitcher, iTunes. Yep.
Yep.
And
So-
I think my link is I think in the I don't know if it's up on the channel, but
And then
the show.
I have to say that it's not safe for work. So if you're going to
No.
listen to it on Stitcher or iTunes, please put your headphones in and don't get fired because we're not responsible for you losing your job.
Yeah.
It does say that in the disclaimer in the opening. If you haven't heard the opening for the show, they warn you.
I just end up yelling just
You what?
just like yelling or something and I just accidentally go through somebody's work computer. Oh my god. When you were saying that, I can't even imagine.
Oh yeah.
I would die. Sorry, it's totally random.
No.
No,
jump
it
right
makes
in.
sense. Because, hey,
Jump on in. Yelling
we-
obscenities is I'm good for that. So
So who are the two guys that you're on the show with?
so Ray and Sarah, right? So Ray he's sort of like apathetic, like he just kind of he's like the guy, he's usually just kind of kicked back and he takes it in and he just kind of nods his head, and I mean he contributes more than that, but he's me and Sarah tend to take opposite sides of an issue, and he's kind of like the middle ground. He's a really great guy, and Sarah is like, gosh, he's like my big brother. He really likes bacon a lot.
He does like
And,
bacon a lot.
Yeah, he's a real
I
advocate.
mean, I can't
for it.
say I like bacon too, but Sarah makes me
God.
feel inferior about my bacon loving.
It's
because,
outrageous. Like
he's
bacon,
obsessed.
bourbon. Yeah, he's really crazy about
You
it.
put the two together, and he might just explode into confetti.
Yeah, actually, that'd be awesome. Actually, on a live show, I think. But yeah, but he tends to be a little more. He's very fiery, and so I kind of counter that, and we just have been able to keep this dynamic going for as long as we have somehow. So, and we have a really nice chat room. If you ever can catch a live show, even if you think we're terrible, like the people in our chat room are really, really nice people, and we do talk a little. We talk about Warcraft and like Blizzard themed games. Like we touch on that, but then we talk about all kinds of other stuff too, video games, things like that. So it's a general potpourri show with a little bit of a hint of Blizzard games. So.
And on the Sundering, you guys primarily talk about a lot of Blizzard titles.
Yeah.
With, like you said, a sprinkling of what's going on in the industry as far as what you guys are playing, what interests you as individuals. So it's very tailored to your taste. Just letting people know. So if you come into the channel and you're expecting them to talk about some of the things that we talk about here, which is very broad, it's not that kind of show. With these three hosts, you get their personalities, and it's a good time. I listen to it not. I usually try to throw in on Sundays when I can, but I listen to it on my iPod.
Thank you.
When I'm driving back and forth to work on Monday, I get part of the show in the morning and then part of the show in the evening when I'm stuck in 5 o'clock traffic for about an hour and a half. So I
Well,
get to
hopefully
listen
we
to the whole
don't.
thing, and you guys make me happy because that traffic makes me mad, and I get you guys cracking me up. So I thank you for that. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that very
Well,
much.
thank you for supporting it.
And then, so the Sundering has been going on for quite a long time, and that's how
Yeah.
I happened to come across Heather, and bring her into the roundtable fold. And then Catalyst was born. So tell us a little bit about Catalyst and what's going on over there, and how you guys are shaping the community.
Oh boy, yeah. There's been like some real changes like in the last year. So Sarah, who's my co-host on the Sundering, he and I decided that we wanted to create our own, and network's kind of a strong word. We wanted more of like a media like group or community of people who needed resources, and hey, I'm going to be out this week, can you come onto my show and be a host? Like, we wanted to create this sort of network of people to create content together. And one of the things that Catalyst helped sort of get behind was this event called World of Podcasts that happened in Anaheim in I think Blizzard skipped a year, so 2012, and then this last year, I think. No, maybe it was the year before. I don't know, but it all runs together. So Catalyst was sort of born out of this, like, hey, we should have this like network and it'd be cool. And but then within the last year, which I don't even know if you know this, Carbon, but we actually ended up merging with another I guess media group called D20 Crit. And so
you did tell me a little bit about that,
Okay.
but we figured we'd save it for the show, so go for it.
Yeah, okay. So D20 Crit is essentially doing similar things to Catalyst. It's just a really, stream, make video content, podcast, blog, write articles. And we just kind of collaborate together and have fun and talk about video games. And we are going to band together to help make this event again in Anaheim, along with some other sponsors. And yeah. So that's sort of what Catalyst sort of became, like a branch of D20. So yeah, it's been good. Hectic, but good.
And when you started with Catalyst, you had maybe 1 or 2 podcasts under your belt jumping on initially, and now you're up to roughly how many partners?
How many?
As far as new, people that are in the network of Catalyst. I mean, I know it started off kind of small. You had maybe 4 or 5, if that, and now you've grown.
Oh boy, I mean Wow. Okay, so it depends on which branch you're looking at. So if you're just looking at the Catalyst branch, there's something like, I don't know, like 8 shows, 9 shows, something like that. But then with D20. They do. We do more like video game oriented stuff. D20, the D20 side of stuff does. They have one that's like about animation. They have another that talks about film. They do a little bit other side of like the geek realm of things, and they have like 7 or 8 shows. And so we have a bunch of podcasts. And that doesn't include, we have about 7 writers who we consistently have like spitting out articles, and so yeah, we have a bunch of stuff actually. So yeah, Catalyst grew. I'd say Catalyst grew. We only had maybe like 3 shows under our belt when we first started. So yeah.
That new network sounds very interesting. And was it a smooth transition, or do you feel that? I mean, I'm not have you throw them under the bus, but I know it's very difficult when you have 2 different distinct brands. I'm interested to know how that worked out for you guys. It was a little bumpy. Obviously everything came together at the very end, but how do you make that work with, you've already had a group or conglomerate, and you're moving into this other network.
Right. So yeah, it was actually quite smooth. I mean, we met with, we had already been working sort of closely with the 2 founders of D20 Crit, Will and Tristan. And we really met them face to face at BlizzCon last year. And we all kind of sat down and was like, we've been doing pretty much the same thing. You're doing D20, we're doing Catalyst. We ought to just like mash them together. Like that was the conversation. Like we all got along. We all have similar goals, which is basically to just bring the community together and put good things out into the world. And so we should pool our resources and do this together instead of parallel to one another. So, and they're just naturally like really nice people and easy to work with, which helped a lot. I think the hardest thing has been just like trying to navigate, people coming from one like branch, Catalyst, and trying to introduce them to the new side of things. But people have been really receptive, so it's gone a lot smoother than I guess it could have gone. So it's been fun.
So you say that ultimately, like, you guys have similar goals in bringing the community together. Is there anything that you really want to do as far as the community goes that you haven't been able to do yet?
Yeah. Well, the event in Anaheim has been good. It was successful last year. We're hoping it'll be successful this year. My like dream would be to oh, sorry, my husband's like hawking up a hairball over here. It might have picked up on the mic, but anyway. So, my ultimate dream would be to have like a con, like a really nice, cool, something like PAX, just like really kick ass, like gaming companies come to like us and say, yeah, we really want to put this game there, and like we really want to have this presence and let people come in and play our games, and we want to have panels, and I would love to do like the whole shebang. I think that would be so cool. But that takes a lot of money. So yeah. We're not there yet, but that would make me really happy. Ultimately.
And speaking of cons, World of Podcast, or Calm Before the Storm, and I'll let you finish that part of what we just, we just threw two names at you. People are confused, but they may know of World of Podcast. And I'm gonna throw up the Twitter for World of Podcast in the chat so you guys can check that out.
Oh, thank you.
And I really find this very interesting. What you guys have created, how far you've moved in a short span of time, and what outreach you've done in the community amongst these podcasters has been amazing. And it seems like it's a really genuinely fun time. As well as the networking aspect. And I only know because of you. I haven't been to one, but you've really created a bond with Blizzard with World of Podcasts. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. So World of Podcasts started out, and it was essentially like a couple of us kind of getting together, and we were like, well, why don't we just, put like a couple $100 down and have a live panel event at a hotel in Anaheim. Like that really was how it started. And we'll just have this like party with our friends, and it'll be really, it'll be cool. Maybe people will come out. And it actually ended up being pretty popular. Like we had to expand the room that we had rented out, and we had about 300 people show up, which was like great. We only thought maybe like 10 guys would be like sitting there in these chairs. It'd be really, really awkward. And so yeah, we were like, yeah, we were really jazzed about it and said, we really need to do this again. We need to go bigger. We need to go big, big, big. And so this past year, we were very, very lucky that a couple of sponsors sort of latched on to us and helped us get the funding we needed to be in a bigger area. So we went from the Red Lion in Anaheim to the Hilton in Anaheim, which is right there next to the convention center where all the buzz is right before BlizzCon is happening. And it takes place the Thursday before BlizzCon. And this past year, we were able to go, the first year I said 300. This last year, we estimate we had 3,000 people show up. So we, had a really big jump in numbers. And then we got to network with folks like over at Jinx and I don't know if a lot of listeners who play Blizzard games, who don't play Blizzard games, will know who these guys are, but Ask Mr. Robot, who does logistics and like stuff like that for raids, like statistics and numbers and things like that. They're one of our sponsors. And a couple other Blizzard franchise, like Blizzard focused like community groups just kind of donated their money so we could have this venue, and a lot of people showed up, and we're going to do it again this year because why not? So I'm very proud of it.
That sounds awesome though. Like,
Thank you.
just I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's
Like, it just started out like really small, and it's like it sounds like it's so like huge now. Like that sounds like
yeah, it was like, so the first year, you get 300 people, and it's like, okay, like, this is great. Sweet, people showed up. Like, we're not as lame as we thought we were going to come across as. And so this past year, we were on the 4th floor of the Hilton, and I went upstairs because I was downstairs for something, and I come upstairs on this escalator, and there's people lined up along the hallway waiting to come into our event. And it was like, holy shit, people are lined up to come into what we're doing. And I mean, it was such a night and day difference from the first year to the second year. And it was such a, like, yes, people are excited. This is what we were trying to accomplish. So it was a really good feeling.
6, do you have any questions for the guests?
Well, I actually think that it's really cool that you're into conventions. I actually just started working into some conventions, and I've been involved in conventions since I was in high school. So it's nice to find somebody that like is in a kinship with that, because a lot of people, when they're in the industry, I notice they're not involved in the event side, and it's cool to meet people who are.
It's kind of stressful, huh?
Yeah, it's hard. It's like, it's really and what was it? That horrible Tumblr convention, the DashCon.
Yes, with the
with
ball
the
pit.
pit.
I know, and we kept joking. We were like, we're gonna have a. Oh, I shouldn't. It's bad.
It's like
It's bad
everybody's
juju.
nightmare. But
It's bad
cool to
juju,
see.
right? I was like, we're gonna be that event. Like last year, we really did. Like maybe we should get a ball pit and just like call our losses. Like
I do.
A ball pit. That's good.
You get your own inflatable pool and fill it with playpen balls.
I'm not even gonna do it. Like I wouldn't even do it as a joke because that's bad karma. Like
no, it is, and it's just it's cool to see somebody else that's into it and it's going that's going with it. But what was the hardest thing in coordinating that you faced? Like so far. I know, like if you had to pick like something that pops into your head.
Like 1, 2, 3. Well, this, and this. No, it's actually trying to coordinate an event when I'm in Wisconsin when the event is in Anaheim, California.
Okay.
I physically,
That's the accent. You're in Wisconsin.
Oh no, I'm from Kentucky.
Okay.
But I live in Wisconsin. My husband cruelly made me move north, where it's colder. Not norther. There you go. I am norther. So that's been the hardest thing to do, I think, because I can't physically be there, and so I have to rely on the Hilton just like calling me back, and sometimes they don't always call me back as often as I'd like. And so I have to just deal with working with a venue that I cannot just walk down the street and walk in and go, hey guys, I need to talk to you about this. It all has to happen through phone calls and emails. And that communication can get really frustrating.
Yeah, no, definitely. What do you think was the highlight so far of your career in this industry in general, even if it's not with the conventions? Like, what do you think is the one thing that you're the most proud of?
What am I most proud of?
You're a busy girl. I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah, no, oh no, I'm hoping that like all of you have had this moment, and if you haven't, you will.
I just looked GIF.
What is it? Oh, is it the chat room?
I just looked at the GIF.
Oh, we had a lovely troll that I proceeded to use the band hammer on. He got the band hammer smacked down, and I decided to post this lovely, amazing gift for that asshole.
Yeah, she gave it to him good with no lube. It was awesome.
Yes.
So,
nice work. I'm like blissfully unaware of the chat room.
That's
right
okay.
now.
Back to the moment, because I'm wanting to know what this moment was for you.
What was this moment? It was, golly, man. the second year we had World of Podcasts, there's this couple, and it sounds terrible because their names are escaping me at the moment. There's this couple that came the first year of World of Podcasts, and they were like the first people who showed up, and they were so excited and so genuinely just like so nice and happy to be there, and they were like, "How can we help? You know, like we really really like the Sundering, and what can we do? And, you know, and so we gave them like as much as like free shit as we could, and so they come back the second year and they're like, Zia, like we get to see you again, and you know, like and we just like hug and have this like complete geek out moment where we talk about the convention. And so like they came back, bless you,
Thank you.
it sounded like it felt good, and we had gotten one of the things that we had at World of Podcasts this past year was a community art exhibit where we had I think like 100 artists contributed 200 pieces of art, and it was all displayed on the walls of this one of the rooms that we had rented out. And this couple comes in, and I remembered them from last year. Bless you again.
Sorry.
Holy shit, that was a violent sneeze.
That scared me.
But they came back, and I got to like sneak behind. You know, like I had this extra art that we had gotten from one of the artists, and I was like, let me give you all this piece of art, and like hand them this piece of art. And I was like, thank you, like I got to see you guys again, and you came back and you supported what we're doing, and I just got to connect with these people who listened to the stupid crap that I put out on the internet every Sunday. Like, you know, like people who genuinely like believe in you. It's such a fantastic feeling, and then to be able to like give them this piece of art and be like, thank you, like here is this gift, and I appreciate you, and it's
surreal.
Yeah, it's surreal, and to be able to connect with people that you never would have met otherwise is a really wonderful, wonderful feeling. So that was a really long-winded way of answering that question. That's a very good
That's
question.
a great answer, though. No, you're welcome.
It is
That's
a good
an awesome
answer.
story.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm sure that couple's going to be happy to hear it when they're watching our show.
So nice. I hope they come back again this year, and I need to like commit I need to write their names on my hand and just be like, you are you meet so many people, it's hard to So anyhow, thank you, that was a really nice question.
I'm glad you liked it. I always get nervous when I'm about to ask questions, but I do it.
Really? Do your palms get kind of sweaty? Like my hands always did that in class when I was getting ready to raise my hand. My palms would get real sweaty. Like, oh shit!
I haven't had that in a long time.
It's like an Eminem song.
Palms are sweaty.
So
oh my God, we're so
whatever's going on in the chat. Ting. I'm hearing a bunch of tinging. Let's go over to. I want to go to Pixie's topic because that one's more exciting than mine.
Okay. So my topic's actually pretty simple. So basically, there's you guys have all seen like the React YouTube videos where like they rickroll people, and it's, you know, I mean, rickrolling's been done. Everybody knows what it is. Or like kids reacting to Nyan Cat. So actually, this one is.
Sorry.
This awkward like cam freeze. Oh my God, what's going on with my computer? Huh? I'm sorry. So this one's actually the elderly playing the beginning of The Last of Us and them reacting to it. And I've got to say, it's kind of interesting. If you think it's going to be funny, you're wrong. It's not actually funny.
You're wrong.
Well, some of the React videos are funny, but this one's not. It's actually kind of interesting. There's a lot of like, holy crap, the language in this is so bad. But you guys can find so actually the article that includes the video, it's on GameSpot. I'm gonna go ahead and post the link in the chat for you guys. But I thought it was really interesting because it's cool to see older people playing a game and getting involved in it and saying, oh, I like this, I thought it was really neat. You know, it was very emotionally involving. I didn't expect it to be. You know, it had a story. I really liked that. It was like being in a movie. You know, you just want to hop in and live in it with them. So it's like, it's kind of interesting because I don't typically think that a lot of people are going to see the elderly reacting to video games the same way that, you know, our younger generation does. So it was just really cool.
Yeah, I could see that. Like you were saying before the show too, that it's surprising that it wasn't funny. Like almost in a way, like you expected it to be. You expect it to be something kind of comical, or you say, oh, like old people fumbling with a controller, and
Yeah.
and you know, there was a little bit of them like acclimating to it, I should say, but it wasn't like a kids react video, where I think is what I kind of expected going into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the ending, like the impact of the ending of that intro, kind of it was neat to see their reactions to that. Like you were like it. I don't know if it was one of those things where I'm like, I know they're playing a video game. They're not going to expect this to happen. You know, so
Yeah, we've come a long way since Pong and Breakaway,
yes,
Duck Hunt and Mario, and yeah, it's definitely. And I think that a lot of older people, you know, they come from a generation where you put away childish things when you grow up, and they think of games as something childish. And to see them being produced on the level of a movie or something that maybe they respect more as a form of enjoyment, I think is shocking to quite a few of them. Mm-hmm. Not something that they would have even believed if you just told them. You know, like they had to play to get it. Which is cool.
I found it very interesting that it was so unexpected for them, you know, because they had this preconceived notion of video games in their mind. Maybe something they've seen in the past, or their kids, you know, their grandkids or whatever playing, or maybe they've never seen it at all, but they've heard of such things as video games. And then when they got in the seat and they saw what was on the screen, they didn't, like you said, Six, they didn't expect to see how much it has been produced, and the graphics look so good, and how much it had changed. And then you could tell that it was a genuine reaction for them to get so wrapped in the storyline, which is what we all love about our games, you know, so much that we can just fall into it like a good book. We're just like so into the story that we've paid for the game. We get the DLCs. We're waiting patiently month after month or year after year for some more of this story that we, you know, started out with. And here they are, never seen it before, and you can see they're leaning in. They're trying to hear. They're like, you know, they got headphones on, but they're trying to hear, you know, because they're trying to listen to them talking. And the controller is such a foreign thing to them, but they're so into the story that they're trying to figure out how this works to get more. And it's very positive. It's not anything that's overtly negative, as we hear in the media. You know, this demographic that they've watched. Video games are the devil. It's bad, and you know, it's making the kids do bad things, or grown-ups do bad things. All the things we hear in the media. This is exactly the opposite. We see a little bit of a different story when it's in front of them. What do you think, Jenny?
I feel like the people that actually do say that stuff should actually try it and see how it is before they, you know, have that opinion. Because how can you have an opinion about something never done before?
You know, I think that I very well would have loved to have done this with my grandmother if she was still alive, just to see her reaction to something that is so important to me and part of my life, that she never would have understood. So that would have been interesting to have her, to see her reaction, like some of these people are watching it. I know I've immersed my kid in it, and there's some things that she is argumentative about that I feel differently about a game than she does, because she likes a character and I don't find that character appealing. So it's been a very interesting dialogue for us to have conversations about the same game, from her perspective and her age demographic.
I'm gonna play like I'm gonna put you under the like scope here for a minute. What game? Like, is there a specific character that you can like recall that this happened? I'm just curious.
She's
like,
really into COD, and I'm not, and she keeps trying to get me to play it with her. and she's talking about the storyline, talking about the characters, and I just can't get into it. So she's very curious as to why it doesn't appeal to me, not as her mom, but as another player. Because I do like FPS, but I just don't care for that particular game.
That particular one.
I
Yeah.
think partially because I'm bad at it. It's too fast paced for me because she's a run and gun type of kid, and I want to get in there and kind of, I want to snipe. Like, I'm just going to put it that way. I'm a sniper, and she's like pop 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 all over the place, and I can't keep up, and then I'm mad. But we've tried to play some other games with the storyline, like not a good example, but what's a jiggy Black Flag, that just came out, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has a storyline. There are tasks in that game that you need to do to follow the storyline, and she doesn't feel so inclined to follow the storyline, because she thinks that the character should be what she wants it to be, not the storyline. So it's interesting for her to see. I think it's a different generation of gameplay, because for me, when I played, I was able to mold the character to my play style, and maybe picked, for example, picked yes or no questions for my opinion. But for these games that she's playing, it's just a pre-mold, it's pre-made, and it's very different than what I would foresee for myself. So there's no arguments, but there is. I can't watch her play on certain games. I just can't do it because it's too aggravating for me. We've played some retro games and platforms, and she finds them boring, and I'm like, that's the most awesome game in the world. But she doesn't see it that way. So I think it's demographic. I know, Pixie, for you, would you say that you've tried to play MMOs, but they just don't fit your play style?
So it's not really that I don't like MMOs. Part of my issue with MMOs, and like, maybe this is just me, but I feel like you invest so much time into MMOs that it's a job. And like, don't get me wrong, like, you're talking to somebody who streams pretty much the same game all day, every day. But it's that at a certain point, if I'm putting in enough effort for it to be a job, I want it to be a game that I'm like so head over heels in love with. And the genre that really does that for me is MOBA.
I can understand that. I definitely do get that with because I play a lot of MMOs. I don't play a lot of them, but when I do play them, I play them a lot, I should say. And I can see how an MMO can feel like there's not enough of a payoff. Whereas I do understand with the only MOBA I really get into, that was Wizard Wars. I don't play a lot of MOBAs, but when I do play them, I think they're fun.
Jenny, you say you play Final Fantasy Online?
No, like I used to, like a long time ago, and I just had to stop playing it.
Did you play 11, or did you play like Realm Reborn?
I think it was 11. Final Fantasy
11. I played 11. That was my first MMO, actually.
Yeah, I think we all played 11. I don't know. I played 11.
I haven't played a single Final Fantasy game.
You should, Six.
I don't like them. I mean, like, I've touched them.
But
I don't get it. I don't like I know that since
Western
I've
games?
tried, I don't like Eastern games normally. No. I love Western games. I think that I don't really get into turn-based in anything. I don't like it. Turn-based puts me to sleep. It's like RPGs in general, I believe, have, unless there's voice acting, I feel like I'm sitting there and reading a book. I don't feel like I'm getting my energy out of it. And so I don't like RPGs. I think that the stories are normally really convoluted and boring. And then I feel like I'm reading a bad book. I'm playing an RPG. And then the turn-based on top of that is just boring. And then anime art style does nothing for me. A lot of people like it. It just does. It does absolutely nothing for me.
See, my biggest issue with turn-based games is just, honestly, I just want to spam the button. I
Yeah.
spend more time spamming the button to make everybody shut up so I can continue
Yeah,
than
it's
actually
true.
playing the game.
And when they force you to sit through it, like, slowly, that's it, I'm turning it off. It's like, I'm not even, it's like, it's just not even gonna happen. Even if it's like, I have to get through that part to get to the game, it's like, I don't even want to. I'd rather be playing another game. And that's really hypocritical of me, because I'll sit for an hour and a half trying to get queued up into like an FPS or a third person shooter online. Like, I'll sit there for an hour, like, trying to get queued into like Ironfall on the 3DS, like some shitty, badly controlled for like third person shooter, and it won't even phase me one bit. But like, I'll sit there through like Bowser's Inside Story, and I'm like, fuck you, I don't want to read all this. Just like, gonna turn it off. I'm gonna go play a quick game like Ironfall, and then like there's a computer error, and, like, and you end up playing like three 2-minute rounds in the time it took you to like. I probably could have beaten Bowser's Inside Story by now.
The chat is saying Kingdom of Hearts was a pretty good game for a lot of
Yeah.
people. They're
Kingdom
really
Hearts is really
really
fun.
loving that. I know for me, I love a good MMO, but I have to say over the past year and a half, maybe 2 years, I've been very disappointed with a lot of things that have come out. I have not had high hopes for anything that's come out over the last year, 2 years, maybe even 3. Nothing has made me excited to play. Nothing has kept me in a game. And I know a lot of MMOers out there that feel that way, that, we're sick of seeing a game come out that, we want to grind. Don't get me wrong. If you play MMOs, you know that you're going to grind in a game. You're going to have to go through a phase of whether it's crafting, whether it's questing, whether it's leveling, whatever it is, you're going to have to grind. But I think a true MMOer loves the fact that you're able to play with your community, play with your guild, your clan, or with other people and progress through a game, but also be challenged in that game. And I just haven't seen that or felt that in anything as of yet. I'm excited about Crowfall. I know there's a lot of people out there who are excited about Crowfall. I am hoping against hope that it doesn't end up like a couple of other things that have come out where you get in and it's just so damn disappointing that you're like, oh man, I can't even do it. Go ahead, Pixie.
I think maybe that's actually where my issue with MMOs lies mostly, really, is with grinding.
I like
Because
grinding.
I feel like you grind you'll grind in like every game, regardless of what you're doing, you're getting through the game and that's still grinding. Like, and so you grind in every game, but I think it's that in MMOs, grinding is more boring.
I think it depends on the game, because there's certain things that I'm an MMO, remember that I love that game, I love that style of game, but I hate to craft. I'm not a crafter. OMG, I hate it more than life itself. I will farm for anyone. I will get you any kind of match you need. I will spend days farming, but I will not craft. Shravasta does not craft. Hates it. Unless it's cooking, and then I have to force myself to do cooking. And especially if it's cooking that doesn't make any goddamn sense, where you got some shitty ass fruit that it's not even a fruit. Some crazy slap a keyboard face roll on it and you named a fruit that. And then you got to mix random crap together. I think Guild Wars 2 was the only game that I actually speed leveled through the cooking because it was real cooking. You took butter and sugar and some vanilla. You made a cookie. It made sense to me.
Cookie Mama.
Cookie Mama.
That's some good
Cookie Mama, right?
Let me tell you, Cookie Mama is probably one of my favorite crappy games that I've ever played.
So fun.
like every Cookie Mama is virtually the same game, and it's like, I'll buy that before I'll buy Pokemon again.
Big Mikey Ocho, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us. I think that I also go ahead.
I started dating my boyfriend via an MMO. So, like, DC Universe
Interesting.
Online.
Interesting.
DC Universe Online. And we were friends for a long time, me and him. We met at work. But, when I started
That's
writing...
a whole nother show.
When I met him, when I started writing about video games, he didn't realize how much I liked video games. And, we didn't see each other too often. And we started playing online, DC Universe. And I don't know, like after that, I think it was just his silky voice. I just had to date him. I don't know what it was, but we had a lot of fun. And I think that grinding in an MMO though,
It
I
was that
think that it
porn
has.
star voice. That's what it was.
Porn star men don't have a voice; they
Hello,
don't speak.
connection. Oh,
Yeah, see, Pixie knows. It was like,
But I think that that's like it has more when you're playing with like a team or with people that you know in MMO. It feels more to me like it would in a MOBA where you're kind of playing with real people and working together, and that's when you're playing on your own. I don't think that they're nearly as fun, and I don't think that they're meant to be played on your own or with strangers. I think they're meant to be played like with a group of people who most
well,
likely don't live near each other.
talking about playing with a group of people, let's get to Jenny Wow over there with the Gears of War, or the GAO. You have to play that game with someone else. It's no fun if you don't, right, Jen? I think that you can't play. I mean, I guess there's a campaign mode, but I played the campaign mode. It's kind of sucks.
Oh, that's
What?
I mean,
it doesn't suck.
well, all right. In comparison to playing on it with a squad, it's not as fun. I'll just
No, I
change my
mean,
words.
campaign, it's, you go through it with 4 people, and I basically just went through it once, and that was it. I never touched it again.
Now,
I just play online.
And you play with your obviously when you're streaming, do you take streamer chat games?
What do you mean?
You play with your chat when you play online?
Oh, yeah.
All the
Yeah.
time? And is that
I try to play with like everybody that wants an invite. I try to invite them all, and
even randoms?
yep.
Is that a positive experience for you, or is that a oh no? Okay.
I mean, sometimes it can be like a lot of people on my friends list I've met through Twitch, but sometimes it's just like they don't have a mic, or it's just like I just
That's
don't.
gotta be weird.
No.
How do you not have a mic in this day and age when pretty much all headsets are built with mics in them?
But they come with the system if you have an Xbox.
And like GAL 3, it's like it's been out for like 4 years, and they don't have like the DLC, and it's just like, just what?
What draws you to that game? What brings you back to that game, that particular game, over and over again?
I have no idea.
None?
I've been playing since like before GAL 1 came out. I played Halo 2, and Halo 2 is a completely different game, and then GAL 1 came out, and I've just been playing GAL. Like, I don't think I've touched Halo ever since. I don't know. Just probably just the way you kill people. I don't know.
Gears of War is one of the greatest shooters of our generation.
I would agree with that.
That is, yeah. How could you not go back to it every time?
I tried, but then I don't know, I get pooped on, and then I just go back to Gears.
And then I get pooped on.
Like, I've tried to go back, and I don't know, just, I like sniping people in the face.
In the face. Do you have any aspirations to play professionally, or do you like the fact that you can just kind of play at your leisure, play with your chat, just randomly just kill people, shoot them in the face?
Well, I do play casually, and then I do get, little tryhard modes and try to, I don't know. Like, we're just waiting for the next Hype Festation to be announced. Gonna get a team together and go to that.
So for the people who don't know what Hype Festation is, can you give them a little bit of the 411? Because I know Hype's been going on for a couple of years.
Yeah, Hype Festation is basically just when MLG wouldn't pick up Gears anymore. It's competitive for Gears.
And that's held where? Do you remember?
Wherever they announce it.
Normally it's on the East Coast.
So it's always in Philly.
Yeah. Normally it's on the East Coast, and it is open to all players, correct? Male and female.
Yeah.
And it is just the closest you're going to get to competitive Gears of War, since MLG is not taking it as a e-sport.
Yo,
OMG, Regality in the house.
I'll team up with you, and here's what we'll do. We'll play this strategy called bait and switch. And what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna run out,
You wanna know
and I'm
your
gonna have
strategy
everyone
live?
shoot at me, and then you shoot everybody else. Winning!
You just told everybody the strategy.
I have
Bait and switch,
people
guys.
let me get the snipers. I have somebody shoot at my teammate and then I just run away with the sniper.
Okay, so it's not a secret anymore.
Nope.
So Regality's in the chat, ladies, if you want to give her a shout out.
Kim.
She came over to say howdy ho. Hey ho! We see you.
Wow, BM.
So Pixie is another streamer who streams primarily Infinite Crisis, but I've been trying to break her out of that shell and get her to stream some other things just for shits and giggles, because I think it would be amazing to watch her out of her comfort zone, because she is a entertaining streamer, especially when she plays a scary game. It's quite funny. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure there's some footage out there somewhere. But Pixie streams every day. Yeah, every day. And like it's her job. And people expect her to do it like it's her job. And I'm interested, Pixie, to get your opinion on how you feel about when people come in your channel and poo-poo all over you because you're not doing something up to their standard. Even if it's a person that's a regular that comes in your channel, or if it's just a random. I mean, that's got to be sometimes grating on your nerves, but also sometimes you can't just ignore it, right? You just kind of like F.
So I typically run on a system when it comes to this. I ask people nicely once. I ask them bitchily the second time, and the third time I tell them to get fucked. Essentially is what happens. Like, that is my system, and after the third time, if you don't actually get fucked, then I'm going to throw down the hammer on your face. Because it gets old. It gets really old at a certain point. I don't mind people coming in and trolling me. I love trolls. Like, I will troll back with you all day. And
Pretty much.
sometimes I'll actually piss you off more than you will ever piss me off. It happens. I've had numerous trolls who have actually come in and said, like, really shitty things to me, and I've said hilarious things back, and they're now, like, regular followers. Because, girls, Jenny, like, you know this, like, girls on the internet, oh, you're fat. Yeah. Yep, I might be fat, but at least I got big tits. Correct. That's all I say. And, like, that kind of shit works. Like, that's how you have to learn how to, like, mitigate the people who aren't actually shitty, who might be having a bad day, and troll the people who are trolling you because it's amusing and they want to get a rise out of you. So if you don't give them an actual rise, and you can prove that, like, you're above their trolling, by making, like, hilarious comments back, then they'll, like, follow you and be nice. And then there are just the shitty people, who are the scum of the earth, and, like, they can get the fuck out of here, because I don't give two shits. And I mean, it is really obnoxious. People are like, oh, when are you gonna do your giveaways? I'm only here for the giveaways. It's like,
That
guys,
makes me so crazy when people fucking do that.
oh my god, it's like, you need to do this. You need to roll it now. You need to do the raffle now. It's like, no, I'll do it when the fuck I want. Like, I am the streamer, and this is my channel. This is the way things run. I will do this when I feel like doing this.
I think that
She probably pretty much said everything that I could possibly say. Like, it's the same thing. Like, those kids that come in, like, just say, oh, you're bad at this game. Well, do you even play this game? Like, you want to come play me in this game? Like...
I had a guy, to this day, who hates me on IC. Hates me with everything in him. Because he came to my chat one day and talked shit about how bad I was. And I said, really? I said, get in game against me and watch me wreck you. So he snipes me 3 games in a row, loses all of them, like chases me halfway across the map a couple times. I'm kiting him, end up killing him, and he's playing like OP shit, and I'm just playing normal, I don't even care champs. Like, wreck the shit out of him, and
Kids have their
he
little
still
mouths.
comes and trolls and says, get fucked. Like, go to hell, dude. I shit on you. Like, you mad? Get mad, bro. Get mad.
Pretty.
You gonna cry about it?
And that's how it's done.
Did you say Mal's
It's
comment?
always, it's always
Yeah, Mal's like, okay. You got Mal all up in arms over there.
He's saying Pixie's not fat. She's really cool.
Yeah, Mal's got your back.
But, oh man, no, there's some crazy people online.
Yes.
In Twitter, when there's crazy people, I tend to just mute them so that they don't even think that they've gotten the satisfaction of getting blocked. I just no longer have to see what they're saying, and they're probably. I wonder sometimes if some of them
They're
are
probably
still
just
rambling
typing.
till
Yep.
this day.
Yep.
Yeah,
That happens a lot.
They could be at tweeting me at any point, and I'll have no idea ever until them for the rest of eternity, unless I decide to unmute them. And I don't even remember what any of their tags were, so I wouldn't be able to.
We get that a lot on the Roundtable Twitter and the Shervasta Twitter, where I will mute them from one or the other, and I only do one. Then I'll go back, and they're still talking days later. It's like, really, dude? You're talking to yourself. I mean, you really are. And it's interesting to see how people behave behind a keyboard. And I think that's a running theme that we have had in our show, is one of our show topics every week, is how people feel so inclined to run off at the mouth. There you go. That's right.
I just have like this behind it.
Because they can. You know, we openly invite some people on the show to have a conversation with us because we can, but they never show up. There's an application out on the website. We invite you to come on down, sit at the table, and have a frank discussion with us because we're not scared, but nobody ever shows up. Nobody ever wants to come. I mean, we're just a bunch of ladies. What do we know? You know, we're just talking our games, talking our stats, talking about
games.
Games.
Talking
You know,
about
we're not
games.
talking about knitting and books and you know, some circles of reading and things
Not that
like
I don't
that.
like books.
Not that we don't like books. That's true because we talked about.
We ain't talking about books,
could be sexy.
baby. We ain't talking knitting, baby.
She's got to sing every episode. I love Pixie. Oh man, we were talking about Ready Player One last week. The week before that, we were talking about some science. Yes, we said it, science, and we had a great time. So, the next topic we have, I think, is Paige.
Yes, the new feminist frequency video came out, and she highlighted what she was
being
saying.
Anita Sarkeesian.
Anita Sarkeesian. She does all the videos. Unless there's somebody else now that I don't know. Positive female characters in video games, and she only highlighted one character in one game, which kind of annoyed me. The character, hold on, pulling everything up, everything closed on me.
Kind of annoyed you a little bit.
What?
Just a little bit.
What annoyed me was that all of her other videos are half an hour to an hour long for the most part. Some are on the shorter end, but none of them have ever been as short as this video. This video was seven minutes and change. And it was ridiculous, in my opinion, that it was so small. Because out of all the characters that you could pick from, and, you know, she does her own form of cherry picking in her games, you know, she comes down and only picks this one character, highlights it for less than 10 minutes, and releases that as a positive female character, which annoyed the hell out of me. You know, it's even if you're gonna go with one character, you know, there's so much that you can go into. You know, it was Sword and Sorcery. It was the Scythian. I haven't played the game. The review was fine. The points that she talked about were fine. The character was pixelated. Everybody on the internet's making fun of the way the character looks. And there's some really funny memes going on around it. One person made it 3D realized and it was like an ostrich. It was like an ostrich with boobs. And then I saw one with Bioshock Infinite, and they replaced Elizabeth falling with a pixelated Elizabeth, and I thought that one was really funny. But it does, and then there's other characters that she highlights, and I understand that you could have positive female characters without them being sexualized, and I agree with that. You can, and you should have a balance there, because there are people that are uncomfortable with with typical video game design, and that's fine with me. But if you're going to do something with positive female characters in games, and you're coming from the place of Anita Sarkeesian and Feminist Frequency, who is often critiqued by her descenders, her people who don't like her in general, that she doesn't look at a whole picture of females in games. There's all this dissent that she doesn't highlight the good things that come with these females in games. Here she is, she's about to do that, and to say it's incomplete is just not even, it doesn't even seem like she attempted to make it complete, and it makes me really pissed. Because even if you want to agree with her on things, even if you do think that she has merit to some of the things that she says, when she has a chance to kind of come back and hold women up and say, hey, this might be the reason why girls are already here. There are some good things, and we could look past the bad things in certain characters, and she doesn't. She didn't. She picked this one character on some offbeat game that, most people haven't played, and this character has no voice acting. It's not like it's a very bland character as far as female representation goes. And she releases that as her first video. Hopefully there's going to be more. I just set my alarm clock off. My doorbell. Hopefully there's going to be more.
Hello?
Maybe somebody actually rang the doorbell. I hope not. It's the middle of the night. But,
how'd your kids?
I am in New York, it's true. Nobody's coming. But, you have this chance, and hopefully she's going to do more, because it's completely unforgivable if she isn't. And if you were going to do something like this, and you were going to say, hey, let's hold women up, let's, do something that isn't going to incite some sort of angry backlash, she puts out this crap.
So Pixie, I want to know how Pixie feels. I know she's got something to say over there.
Anita Sarkeesian, I'm about to do your job for you. Let's talk about some strong females in video games. What about Sarah Kerrigan from Warcraft? She became like the leader of the Zerg. Like, come on. Like, really? Lara Croft Tomb Raider. What about freaking Lightning from Final Fantasy? What about Samus? Samus is the original badass. Like Elena Fisher from Uncharted.
Lara Croft.
Cortana from Halo. Like, yeah, she's kind of a robot, but come on. And really, we're not even going to talk about Commander Shepard from Mass Effect? The fuck is wrong with you, Sarkeesian?
Yeah, it's weird.
These are not complicated. These are big titles. Big title games, and you can't even figure this out yourself? Here, let me make this list for you and hand it to you.
That's part of the problem. I'm just going to put it out. She needs to ask a real gamer. She's not a real gamer. She's a media personality. She doesn't play the game.
Which is fine if you're going to do your research.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's fine. I have no problem with somebody being a media personality or somebody being an academic and approaching things from that way. I really don't. I think that, if anything, I like that she has legitimized the academic study of video games and mainstreamed that. I think that was something that was completely overdue, and now we're starting to see video games are art, and people are screaming all these things that they completely ignored before. You know, these people weren't there 10 years ago, and now they are. Good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
You know what?
But,
I
like,
agree with you, Six. I agree that she's opened up a door, but I think that what she's done is not only opened that door, but she stuck her big old head in there and took the spotlight away from what is important and put it into her perspective and her opinion, and she didn't do her research and still has not. So now we've got this figurehead, which is her big old forehead on everything, and it's not a true story across the board of how we reflect.
Her research in this video is fine. It's one character. It's a bland character.
One-dimensional.
And it's a very one-dimensional character. It's pretty clear from what I can tell. I haven't played the game, but you know, like so I can't say like how good the game is. The game could be fantastic, and the game sounds kind of interesting and slow-paced and fun, you know. But like Pixie was saying, you're gonna highlight positive females in games. It's almost like she's intentionally avoiding females that also have, you know, the pitfalls that she included in other games. And my thing is that if you're going to cherry pick the bad points about these characters, like Samus, like Zelda, like Princess Peach, like FemShep, you know, like FemShep, she was talking about, yeah, we have FemShep, but she's written completely from a male perspective. I agree with that. I played as FemShep. I am a woman. I am a 25-year-old woman who has never been to a strip club in real life. But I have been to God knows how many in video games. I have had so many lap dances from a male perspective in video games. And that's fine. That's in video games. That was something with FemShep. If you want that, I'm saying, but if you want that, that's fine. But that doesn't negate that FemShep is a female. And, you know, and I understand. You made your point about that. And you know what? Lots of women, myself included, who play video games can say, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I understand. You know, but...
So let's hear from Heather.
You can do that.
Oh. I'm still digesting it. No, I'm taking it in.
I mean,
if you're not done, like...
No, we got a mod. We got a
I'll
mod. Paige, I was gonna say Paige is good to go.
Yeah.
That's all right. The thing is, like, I'm 25. I've been to a strip club. I've gotten a lap dance. Like, I'm a female. So like, I can't say that that's necessarily 100% from a male perspective. I know other females who have done the same thing. Like, I don't think it's odd or awkward for that to happen.
You're also attracted to women. You know, I'm a straight woman. I'm not attracted to women.
This is true.
And you know, it's which is fine if you are. I have a gay friend. My best friend is a lesbian. She is not allowed into local strip clubs because where we are, they don't let women into the strip clubs because they're afraid that men are going to be too busy giving their money buying drinks for real women in the strip clubs. And it pisses her the fuck off because she's a lesbian and she wants to look at women.
I can't believe
and you know, and which, you know, fine. You know, I get it. Yeah, you're allowed to, you shouldn't have those kinds of restrictions, in my opinion. I don't think that it's bad or that women shouldn't go to strip clubs or that I couldn't even enjoy a strip club. I've watched plenty of lesbian porn. It's the only time I get to see a girl getting eaten out. You know, it's something, you know, I understand. It's fine. But it's something that, you know, in video games I've experienced that, but in real life I've never had the urge to. So I do understand when somebody says, hey, you know, that's not something I care about, then it's okay for you to say that. And Anita made that point. But you know what? That doesn't mean that you need to ignore the good points about FemShep and what she does as a female protagonist.
Well, I mean, she talks about sexualizing women in video games, but like Lara Croft's cup size for her breasts have gone down progressively.
Agreed.
Her boobs
have gotten triangular.
Well, I mean, that's also true, is graphics have gotten better, but they have actually gotten smaller.
Well, I don't think so.
Ooh, Arcade Android's comment. Go ahead and read that out loud, Jenny.
What?
Read Arcade Android's comment. Go ahead.
He said Anita, what is it?
Sarkeesian?
Yeah, doesn't believe in homosexuality. Like what? There are only heterosexual males and females? Like what?
No, and I've met some pretty rude lesbians too.
In La La Land. I guess.
Yeah.
Heather, are you done digesting? You want to share with the
Yeah.
class? Because I'm telling you, Paige and Pixie will go all night. We
No,
want to
it's
give
all
you at
right.
least
No,
a
no.
15-minute rebuttal.
I just like to hear. No, I don't really have like a rebuttal as much as it's like. Sorry, I'm like hearing. I think I'm picking up in somebody's mic. No, the thing that I've always found very fascinating is like Laura Croft, because if you ask one woman about Laura Croft, she'll tell you that she freaking hates her and that she thinks she's everything that's evil and wrong in the video game industry. But if you ask somebody else, they'll tell you that Laura Croft is heading in the best direction ever and it's one of the best female characters ever. And so one of the things that, especially in these conversations and what we have with this show, is it never seems like we can figure out what the ideal woman is. Like, what is the ideal video game female? Because, and I think that's what's so hard about this industry, is because when you're presented with what we think is the ideal, you'll always have somebody who just cannot stand that character. And so
Kezian wants all women to be like 500 pounds.
She wants them all to be rectangles. Is what the internet is.
Yeah, like,
we'll just stick bathroom signs, like the little characters on bathroom signs in video games for you, Sarkeesian. We got it covered.
Yeah, and so and maybe it's just like that academic, because when I was in college, like, I brought video games into the conversation as often as I fucking could in the class. Like, that's, sorry, dropping F-bombs. As often as I freaking could.
We're still under our quota, you're good.
Okay. But, it's just fascinating to me. What is the ideal female character? Because I can guarantee you that my ideal female character is probably not going to be the same as any of the women in this chat room. Just like I don't think, like, Carmen, yours is, or Paige, we all might have like the same ideals about what it should be, but it's probably not going to be quite the same. And I think that's what's made this such a tricky, very good, important conversation, regardless if we agree with Anita or not, is what is that ideal and how do we get there and how do we communicate that?
For us as players, and no matter what the game is or what the platform is, the answer to that question is very simple, as to just allow us to create it in the character creation screen. Give us all the options and all the tools and let us choose whether you're playing as a male or a female. That's what we're asking for. We're asking for the ability to create that ideal character, no matter if she's male or female. I think that's an easy answer.
Okay, but to play devil's advocate, at what point, if I am making a game and I'm writing a game and I want to tell this story from this perspective is this is an African American male perspective in this game. This is no one else's. So is it the job of a game designer, say, that they have to create, like, do they always have to have a character creator? Do they have to sacrifice this is the story I want to tell? But I have to appeal to, like, this and that and the other, so I have to add all these things into this game. Like, at what point does it become so out of control that people have to sacrifice a story they want to tell?
If you're coming from like an indie game perspective, you don't have to sacrifice that. And you shouldn't have to sacrifice your own artistic integrity, in my opinion, to make anybody else happy. I think that there's an important thing, like that happened with the Batgirl comic recently. Here you have an artist who made this, who's probably in love with The Killing Joke. It's DC's most profitable comic, right? But then you have the writer, who's also an artist of the book, saying, and I don't want that cover on my book. If you are, a game developer, or you're the writer, this is your game, you're writing it and you're coding it, but you need to hire somebody to make these characters, and they present to you a character that isn't in line with your vision, whose vision should supersede? And I think that, that's also something that is tricky for people. Or if you have something like Ubisoft, they're going to go with whatever the test group, thought was popular.
That's a whole other can of worms.
No, seriously, that's why I said if you're an indie developer, you could basically do whatever the hell you want and screw anybody who doesn't like it. But when you go to bigger level games, they care about the majority of people who are going to be buying these games, and they care about public opinion and PR. And I think that that's maybe the writer of Batgirl. I don't know him. I actually did connect with the artist of the Batgirl cover. He started following me on Twitter, which is pretty cool, and I was talking to him a little bit.
Geeked out.
But Albuquerque, he's awesome. But maybe the writer was reacting to his fan base who was saying, "Hey, we don't like this cover," and he's saying, "Well, I don't want my run jeopardized." Or maybe the writer was actually offended by it. Doesn't matter. That's his book. You know what I mean? You're talking about a variant. You're talking about the person who's making their livelihood off of it. And I think that comes into place into your scenario too. You're the one who's going to be making money off of this game. You're the one who's putting your blood and soul into this game, and that's your employee. You are hiring that person to realize your vision. And if I don't like your game, let's say I don't like fat girls, and you put a fat girl in a game, and I get really mad because I think that fat people are ruining society, and I'm pissed at you about it. You don't have to care about what I'm saying. I'm just not going to buy your game. Or maybe I will buy your game so that I could trash it and say, well, I played it. It doesn't matter. Either way, that's your vision. Or at least that's my opinion on it. And as an artist, that's how I approach things. You don't like it, I don't care. Well, I know it's not you personally.
No, I was just saying. I wasn't saying that you're wrong, Carmen. It was just it was sort of a hypothetical. Like,
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that there is something to be said about, the creativity of whether you're a developer, an artist, whatever medium that you're using to create whatever that is your vision, and you have to get out, because believe me, I can't draw a stick figure or a box. I'm not artistic in that way in any way, shape, or form, but I have other things that I feel that are as my creative mojo, and I have to get them out, and I just have to do it, because if I don't release it, confetti would be the greatest thing in the world to burst into, but it wouldn't be that. It's going to be worse. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some shrapnel going on in this house. However, it is what I want to reflect and how I see my vision. So therefore, I get the point that you're making, that should I change that for you, Zia, or for you, Pixie,
right,
because you want to see something different than I want to see? I don't think that's the case. I think that we've said on more than one occasion that we don't care for here at the round table the fact that people do use the new medium of social media to vomit their disopinion or what they don't like on developers, and treat them not as individuals or people, but as a machine or an entity from a studio, which is not the case. We've made that statement more than one occasion, and I still feel that holds true. But I do also feel that if you're making a game, like Six said, that's a AAA studio or an MMO or something like that, where you're giving us the ability to create a character, then you need to make that character have the diversity in your end user and represent that and give us that. So don't just give me the plain
Slam
Jane.
that table.
Yeah, I'm like, don't just give me the plain Jane.
She's been drinking.
I need more. I need a refill. Waiter. Don't give me the plain Jane, the one-dimensional, blonde hair, blue eyes, or whatever it is that you see in games. I want to be able to create the person that I want to play, whether she's dark-skinned, blue hair and green eyes. I still want to be able to do that because I can. And then it'll make me come back to that game over and over and buy that DLC, versus getting in there and being disappointed because I can't do that. I mean, from an MMO standpoint, that's how I feel about it. Jenny, is there a way to create a character in GAO, or you just play the standard whatever's there?
Pick a character and play.
Pick a character and play. I guess when you're running a gun, it really doesn't matter much.
Doesn't matter.
We're lucky to get a male and a female choice. Can you play as a female? I haven't played that game in so long. You can't? Okay.
Play as, I think there's 5 or 6 maybe. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I can look.
No, I might have to get back in there. If you don't mind carrying me, that is. Because, not good. Not good at all. Ask Pixie. I see, not good at all. It's not pretty, man.
Yeah, there's 5.
Did you have that recorded?
You know, we should have recorded it because it was, you know, what was the best part of that was Pixie trying to be patient, but she was dying inside. Like, holy hell, it was so horrible.
It was like, oh my god. It was like, Shiv, I know you can do this. Please, just do this.
Then she would say, just stand over there. Just go back to base. Just move. Because it was so bad.
Well, if
It
you
was pretty
guys
bad.
do have Xbox 360, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Judgment's free right now, so
Oh.
you can download that.
It's amazeballs! Shots, 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 shots. Everybody drink. I said
My
it.
booze.
I mean, I don't know. I think at a certain point, when it comes to that, you have to realize that regardless of like what you want from a video game, like there are things that have been done that go into development. If you look at like AAA titles and the way that they develop, like video games, I'm sure, like you said with the Ubisoft, like they do testing, they do market testing to see, you know, what will succeed the best, what will make them the most money. And unfortunately, like the thing that makes them the most money is attractive, like characters, whether it's attractive men or attractive women, because aesthetically that is pleasing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't necessarily think we need to go for like customization. I think at a certain point when you customize something, you can put so much money into allowing for customization that it becomes an issue. You know, changing like your clothing and customizing like outfits, like let's talk Saints Row, right? Like you can wear all of these different outfits, have all of these different weapons, but like at a certain point, if you're allowing for customization of skin color, eye color, facial structure, hair length, like all of these things go into the cost of developing a game. And at a certain point, while it's affordable, is it really necessary?
I'm sorry.
Saints Row, like.
I mean, are we looking at?
Oh,
we're looking at trolls.
Yeah,
run
sorry.
around whatever I want to make. Like, that's why I buy it. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, the ultimate end goal is for us to purchase, right? To be end user, for us to pick it up, buy it, play it, share it. So, I mean, it's a sticky middle of the road to be, because, you know, there are games that I've picked up and I've played and I was very disappointed, or I knew I was going to be disappointed, I bought it anyway. So us as gamers, it's that damn Steam sale every damn time.
I love the
Every
Steam
time.
sale. There's games I buy on Steam to sell that I still have not played.
We all do that.
Oh my gosh. I played eventually.
If they could do some kind of a bundle of some sort, like, you know, I'll give you X amount of dollars and you just start pumping games into my library for 6 months, I would do it. You give me a different game once a month, twice a month, every 2 weeks, every other day, I would just be like, take my money, shut up, take it.
Here.
Just take the card, just take it. Crack, it'd be like crack.
I'm still convinced computers should come with built-in Square readers. Schwip. Yeah, give me that.
Oh my god, I would be so much trouble.
I would be broke.
We would have to remove the computer from the premises if it had a reader. You know, they do have the ones you can just hook to your phone and you just back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there would be the big D over here if that happened in this house. Woo, there'd be some. I'd be on an island all on my own.
Sorry, did you refer to your person as the D?
I said there would be the big D, meaning divorce.
I thought you meant the other D.
Well, there is some of that in the house too, but I wasn't sharing like page shares. But
I was like, oh, there's gonna be a D upset, eh?
Hear about my big D, you and the trolls in the room. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
I was laughing at that. That was a good one, Six. That was good. I try not to laugh out loud, but it hurt a little bit.
It's not easy being rectangle.
Somebody live tweet and tag one of those bathroom placards for me, because that's awesome. That was a
Somebody
good
said
comment.
something about my stuff on my Ask FM not too long ago too.
You know,
It's
MVP of chat may be Pixie. Paige coming up right quick on a second with that inverted D. There's still time to pull ahead. So
There's so many
next,
levels to it.
so many. I mean, whew, the jokes keep coming. So next week guest is going to be Philip Jones from over at Gaming in Color. And if you're not familiar with Gaming in Color, are you coughing? Yes, she's coughing. Are you choking? Okay, she's good.
Don't
I
die.
just want to make sure she's alive.
Don't die. Don't die live.
Don't die.
Listen,
Don't die.
the ratings will go sky high. You'll all be good.
We made it.
Live death.
Oh my goodness. So Gaming in Color is a gaming group that is focused on LGBT. So that's going to be what's going on next week. We have GamerX organization that they're affiliated with. So there's going to be a rip-roaring good time next week. So make sure to hit that follow button if you haven't hit it so you can join us for all kinds of questions and showcasing a bunch of different stuff. And if you are a homophobic and or have any issues with LGBT, just keep your ass out of the channel because we don't care. You can bring your troll self over, but we got the ban hammer and we'll just boot your ass out. It doesn't
Pixie
phase
with the
us.
ban hammer.
Yeah,
You know-
I'm literally. So I bought my niece. I bought her one of the Nerf Mjolnirs.
You should
So
throw-
I taught her to run around and hit people with it, screaming "I smite thee." But I now realize that like I should have gotten one for myself. So every time that I ban somebody from chat, I can just slam it on my computer now.
It's like
You know
the
what you should
gavel.
do? I'm making a personal request. You need to record your niece yelling "I smite thee" on your phone
I have it.
so that we can use it
I got
as a
this.
SmackDown. So, or get a GIF. Put a GIF of her face. We can put it in the channel.
It's so weird when I hear that. I think it's a jar of peanut butter.
That's what I say. I usually say the peanut butter. I usually say the peanut butter because that's how I think of it as well. I'm like,
The
I need the
first
peanut
time I
butter,
heard
please.
that- Well, the first time I heard that, it's actually on a we talked about on a previous episode about the long 4chan like yearly addresses that Moot would do,
Yes.
and he always says GIF, and I'm looking for GIF, and I'm like, oh my god, he means GIF, doesn't he?
Peanut butter. I usually will say peanut butter because I do say GIF, which is invalid, but I say peanut. I wear the peanut butter. I need the peanut butter in my life. All right, so we're gonna wrap up tonight's show. We want to thank our guest Zia for coming on over and joining us. I know we get to do this like every 6 months or so, you know, because we got to catch up with her.
It's like our 6-month checkup.
She's so busy. The princess is always so busy, you know, doing those uppity girl things. Wait, no, you know, as a matter of fact, I should take that back because now that you're working, you're not the lady of leisure anymore.
No.
She's earning her own money. I should give her
do.
the golf clap. I'm so proud.
Thank you. I'm making my own money.
She's out there making her way in her world. She's gonna be like Mary Tyler Moore, throw the hat up in the air. Oh, and we want to thank Jenny for coming in last minute and joining us at the table. And Jenny, we will get you back in so you can get used to how this all goes and
Jenny,
chat
you
some more.
survived.
Yeah, and you did a great job, girlfriend. I hope you had a good time.
I did. It was awesome. I was just like learning a lot. I felt like I was in school.
Oh no, we don't want it to feel like that.
No, like it was awesome. Like good kind of school.
All right.
I mean, we could always take it to church. I'm sorry.
And everybody in chat, thank you for joining us for this week's show, and all you people that came to our defense with those trolls. We love you so much, and you know, no worries. We don't mind the trolls. We just ignore them.
They were gonna give me thousands of dollars.
I was waiting because I would be excited.
Oh, were they trying to get like nudies?
Yeah.
Were they nudies? That's the most adorable. Were they trying to get nudies from you?
That's Princess Heather. She's so
Show me your
sweet,
tits,
but then
girl.
you put her on-
I've officially decided that when we do the panel at DragonCon, I'm just gonna dress up like the female from a bathroom sign.
Okay. It's her
Oh my
cosplay.
God, that'll be fantastic.
You know what? You need to find some pictures and then Photoshop our heads on there, Six. Just put our heads on the bathroom signs.
Photoshop.
So awesome.
I'm using an app on my Chromebook to edit these photos. It's literally like a click app. I think it's so cute that you think I have photos.
Six Chromebook. You need to make a dedicated Tumblr or something to that Chromebook, man, because that's a mess.
I actually wrote like a really inaccurate article about it, like my second night with it, of just frustration. And I haven't taken it down, even though it's terribly inaccurate in some points, because the anger was just so real that I never want to forget that moment. Like when I had to deal with my Chromebook the first night, it was terrible.
It is terrible. So leads me to the part of the show where I need more drinks, and it is our shout out time. So I'm gonna start with Zia because she's our guest, and I know you got a couple of shout outs in your back pocket there. Before you roll one out, I do want to give a shout out to your cat, man. You know, that cat ass.
She ran
You see the
away.
little wavy tail just randomly by.
Yeah, I was like, Aria. Like, she, I don't know, she likes to make appearances sometimes. So, yeah, thanks. She's taken off now. Mark went upstairs, so she went, like, right up behind him. So, yeah, I guess shout out to, well, I guess, like, all my crew over at D20. Like, they're a great bunch, and I love them. And shout out to... Let's see. V from Ask Mr. Robot. She works really, really hard. She's one of the folks who's helping organize Con Before the Storm, and she's very, very like super awesome to work with. And when you're planning events, if you can be with someone who doesn't want to make you just really shake the person closest to you, it's nice. So she's awesome. So shout out to her as well. That's all I got.
That's all you got? All right.
That's all I got. That's
You
all
want
I
to shout out to the boys?
Nah,
at
screw
all?
them.
All right, good. That's the way it goes.
I almost used one of our F-bomb quotas. Sorry.
Uh-oh. We got about 3 more, but I just didn't say that out loud.
I don't know about that if we have only 3 more.
So, if you haven't listened to the Sundering or watched the Sundering, you need to get on over there because this person that you see sitting in front of you is not the person that shows up on Sunday nights. Let me tell you. So, just know that Shrivasta warned you. That you'll be sucked in and addicted, and you'll be back every Sunday. Let's go over to Jen. Shout outs for Jen.
Just 2 people. Just shout out to my brother Cryptic Ashes and my boyfriend.
All right.
He knows who he is.
So adorable.
He knows who he is. He doesn't get a name.
Yeah. He's in
All
the
right.
chat. Curious.
Oh, all right. Curious is in the chat. Pixinator.
So shout outs to my duo partner, my duo bro, for carrying my awesome attack speed GA. Shout outs to Infinite Crisis. Shout outs to IC Celestrata, for being awesome. And, shout outs to you guys for being here. Thanks for co-hosting with us, Jenny. Thanks for coming back, Zia. It's been a while. But it's been a ton of fun.
It's always fun. It's always fun.
Zia, did you see how our Pixie grew up? She's such a big girl now.
She's all grown up. She's so
Mommy,
adorable.
wow, I'm a big kid now.
I knew you wouldn't resist that.
You still have your like cat ears though. It's still the same old like. You
She
were
makes me
lowercase
like
G.
some of those though, like
She was a lowercase G. Now you're a big G.
Yeah, but it's still you like with your cat ears and your cuteness. Yeah. Same old Pixie.
Aw, so cute. Moving on over to Miss Page 6.
So my shout out go to Gaming Rebellion, as always. Ladies of the Round Table, of course, my ladies. And another castle, my baby, my home away from home. And let me give a shout out to...
Spin the wheel.
Alright, we got the Master Joe show. They're pretty awesome. There's a game coming out soon, Adrift. It looks beautiful. And some people from BioShock are working on it. Fantastic. I'm excited about it. And World Peace. We'll give a shout out to World Peace tonight.
Oh, we're going deep. We're rolling
Okay,
deep tonight.
World peace. Adrift in world peace. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So that leaves me. My shout outs tonight go to you ladies because this was a fun show. We had a really good time, a lot of impromptu, and it was awesome. Ian, of course, back there doing his thing.
Ian.
Shout outs to Ian and all you peepees in the chat who have showed up every week. Every week, man. You keep coming. You keep coming to see what we're doing, see what's going on, who the guest is going to be. And I appreciate you. And thanks for sharing on your social media because that's important to us as well. All the people who have donated to the charity this week, you know who you are. Every little bit helps. $2, $3, all the stuff you guys have been throwing our way. We appreciate it. We're working towards our goal of our 501c certificate so that we are governmentally compliant with our charity, which is a big damn deal nowadays. And everyone who was here last week who had a conversation with us and continued it on Twitter about the freedom of Religious Freedom Act. There we go. I got it out. That conversation is still ongoing. The story is still unfolding. And those of you who are buying your tickets for Indie PopCon, I will see you at Indie PopCon this year. I'll be there with bells and whistles and along with 10 young, brilliant minds of Think Outside the Box, which is my robotics team. They will be there exhibiting and they will be doing press and the daily morning shows in Indianapolis. So come on out and see them, see what they're all about. That's some of the kids that we're promoting and sponsoring with our scholarship foundation. I don't have much more. I don't know about you guys, but I think we're going to dance this one out just for old time's sake with Zia. All right, boogie down. Boogie down. She's got head bobbing. Shake it, roll that beautiful footage, Ian. I think we got some outro.
Like woo.
Logan.
I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm throwing something on the ground.
Like a wrestling move.
No, I'm learning today how to do that day. And
Okay.
but I can't do it. Like, you can't see me, like, throwing my wheelchair. Like, I can't.